Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Destiny's Princess, a war story, a love story. We are still on Kotaro's path, and we're nearing the end, I believe. See, yeah, I think this is the last chapter, and then we'll have the endings. So I'm not sure if I'll be adding the endings to this. I can't remember how the last chapter went, but Kotaro's chapters seem to be shorter than Hanbei's were, so who knows, we might be putting this last chapter and both the endings in this, or this might be its own and the endings will be their own chapter. We'll see. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. This is chapter 8, Blood of Faith Stains My Hands.
We're going to Rokaku Kanonji Castle to slay the demons.
Nobunaga made his declaration in the military council seat before the battle.
Rokaku Kanonji Castle? But that castle has been abandoned for a long time. In the depths, Rokaku Takayori's mummified corpse is held there. He summoned the demons. That's preposterous!
Everyone in the room started making a commotion. I sat at the foot of the table and heard what everyone was saying. I searched for Kotaro in that time. He's not here. He was a ninja after all. He must have been hiding somewhere. Yeah, so what makes you think you could find him if you looked? I thought that, but I couldn't wipe away my strange sense of nervousness. Kotaro was hurt. Even if my efforts in searching for him were nothing, I couldn't just sit here. This was probably the final battle. We might not be able to meet again. Yukimura was to defend the castle. Nobunaga took Masamune and went to Rokaku Kanonji Castle. Nobunaga closed his fan, making a sound, and stood up.
Leave, now. Yes, my lord.
Nobunaga and the vassals left one after another. Yukimura grabbed me.
Oh, what's wrong, Saya?
You're the one that grabbed me. What's wrong with you? Hey, did you see Kotaro? What's Kotaro's role in this battle?
Oh, I thought something was up, but you're obsessed with Kotaro.
I'm sorry.
You don't need to apologize.
Yukimura smiled and tilted his head.
I don't see him here. Maybe father knows something.
I see. Even so, this was an important time for Nobunaga. I wanted to ask him so badly, but he couldn't take the time to answer my personal question. I have to find him. I wanted to see Kotaro no matter what. Maybe you could ask Hanbei. Everyone in the castle was preparing for battle while I roamed around searching for Kotaro. I thought about it, and Kotaro had always visited me. I'd never needed to look for him. I didn't know what he did during the day or where he usually was.
Think of this as your final battle. Abandon your lives.
Most of the military commanders had gathered in the courtyard. He wasn't there either. I knew it was rude of me, but after they'd adjourned, I questioned Nobunaga. Father, where is Kotaro? After Nobunaga had stared at me, he smiled.
You have the dagger in your bosom, right? If so, I won't speak. You are making a face because you're shocked that I know. I'm the one who permitted them to torture the demon in the passage. Of course I know.
Then, you know about the dagger too. Well, duh, we just talked about that.
Yes, I heard about it. Then again, I roughly knew about everything before all of this.
What?
Don't ask me why. I don't have time right now. Even if you ask, I can't answer you. I'll just say, you shouldn't put too much of your trust in that thing. It's connected to the Rokaku clan.
When he said that, it felt like the dagger let out a soft chuckle. In the end, I couldn't find Kotaro. Everyone left for the skirmish, and I watched them from the castle tower. Kotaro! Kotaro! I shouted as loud as I could. I prayed that my voice would reach him. The people that had left were too far to differentiate from one another. Please, come back safe. I sank to the floor and hung my head. The dagger started talking. You're thinking about saving that man, aren't you? I am, but what about it? Then you should go outside with me. I know where he's going. We can't trust you now that we know you're part of the Rokaku demons. Come now, hurry up. Thanks to them leaving, we can slip outside easily. Don't trust him, Saya. You'd be stupid too. We don't have much time.
I'll say that you shouldn't put too much of your trust in that thing.
Nobunaga had said that. Kotaro had said that it was an ally to the demons. Princess, Bunogana, Nanobuga, forget about what he'd said. I'm the one who rebuilt this castle and had called for help. That was right. It truly was. It was thanks to this small demon that I'd been able to survive. What? I have to trust the dagger? You gotta be kidding me. Alright, well, we're trusting the dagger. I understand. I'll trust you just this once. But tell me, what are you thinking? What are you hoping for? You're interested in what a small demon like me is thinking. Then I'll tell you the truth. Huh? I gasped. The demon started talking in a different tone. It was much deeper.
Nothing really matters. I just want to be set free quickly. I don't care how. I just want to be free. I just want to return to the underworld. That's all I want.
Free? I remembered Kotaro's face after hearing that word. I understand that, but why did you help me?
That was the task I was assigned to do. In being sealed in this dagger, I couldn't leave until I grant 10 wishes. And yours was the 10th and final wish. Do you understand?
Why does it keep doing this to me? Why do you tell me after the fact? The dagger suddenly returned to its usual voice. You really want to be set free? Indeed. Do you promise not to harass anyone once you've been set free? People are more frightening than demons. I learned from my experience with humans. I see. I took the dagger and stood up. Let's go. Guide me. I was sure it would be dangerous outside, but there was nothing else I could do. It was the life I thought I'd lost. I live it to its fullest. I wanted to see Kotaro. I would meet him and apologize. I knew what it was like acting too late, as I'd lost all of my relatives. Everyone in the castle was busy. The remaining soldiers were busy preparing to defend the castle.
Hey, did you hear? They beckoned the demons to this castle. Yeah, I heard the ninjas are leading them here. The rumored traitors, right? He couldn't have allied with demons behind our backs, right?
I bit my lips as I heard them gossip as they walked by. You guys!
Yes, Your Highness.
They bowed on the floor, and I spoke to them in a harsh tone. They worked so hard for this castle. Any doubts will hinder us from accomplishing our goals. I won't have you say such thoughtless things.
Yes, Your Highness.
I left them as their foreheads touched the ground and hurried onward. I'm glad I said that. I smiled bitterly. I was the one who'd hurt Kotaro the most, so I shouldn't have acted so proud. Kotaro hadn't done anything. All he did was work to save this country and save me. I was the one who forced him to endure the unjustified criticism. I had to make amends for it. While everyone was busy preparing, I took a bow and a horse, and then left the castle. Tell me, where should I go? Go down the main road, and we'll gradually get there. Okay. I rode the horse and took the path it suggested. I didn't know what awaited me as I searched for Kotaro. I didn't like how things were at the moment. I galloped down a narrow road between a grove of trees. After a while, I saw a huge open space. This place is... It was the place Kotaro had taken me. It was where I'd refused his invitation. My chest hurt, and I shook my head. I had to shake off my feelings. What's next? Oh, if you wait here, that man should show up. But aren't they leading the demons to the castle, so aren't we going to end up running into that horde? This was not a good idea. Show up. Kotaro's coming here? How do you know something like that? Before I could finish, someone's shadow came out from a tree farther away. It can't be Kotaro? The shadow came out from the tree. It was bigger than a human. Oh! I swallowed my breath. I made the horse step back. Fear ran through my body. We shouldn't have even had to make the horse step back. It probably would have panicked and ran. A demon! What did I say? You heard the ninjas were leading the demons to the castle. What did you think would happen? The demon swung its body and got closer to me step by step. Run? Did you deceive me? I pulled the horse's reins, but it didn't move an inch. That's right, the bow. But my hands were shaking. I couldn't take it out very well. I wouldn't make it in time. The demon was right in front of me. I didn't even have enough room to run away on foot. The demon raised its arm overhead. Ah! The moment I closed my eyes and covered my face, I heard the sound of a flute. Next, a pack of dogs began to bark. Oh, awesome! He did tame the dogs. He became the dog's alpha. Huh? I opened my eyes. As the demon noticed the barking, a huge dog leapt onto it. Oh, I hope the dogs don't get hurt. The dog slipped under the shaking demon's arm and bit its side. There were many dogs. They came out of the grove one after another and bit its sides and ankles. The demon didn't have the time to counterattack. The dogs leapt onto it after it threw them off. What is going on? I was confused and heard the flute again. The dogs were obedient and pulled out. Next, I heard a voice.
Fire!
It was Kotaro's voice. I didn't have time to rejoice. Something pierced the demon's eye. Next, something flew into both its eyes and its mouth. When I thought I heard the demon moan, it then fell onto the floor making a sound. Throwing spikes were stuck in the demon's eyes and mouth. See, he came here just like I told you. I didn't hear the dagger's proud words and got off of the horse. Kotaro! Kotaro! Kotaro rushed toward me while a subordinate stayed behind.
It is you after all, Princess. Why are you...
Kotaro! I grabbed onto Kotaro. We were finally able to meet. That was all I could think about. I couldn't even talk. He smiled awkwardly and stroked my back.
Calm down, Princess. Why did you come to a place like this?
I wanted to see you. I wanted to see you and apologize.
You came all the way out here just for that?
Because I had a feeling we wouldn't be able to see each other once this battle ends.
Why did you think of that wild idea? I have no intention of leaving your side.
He hugged me firmly and slowly separated himself from me.
You should have run off with your horse. I was terrified seeing you just sitting there.
That happened because it suddenly stopped moving.
Stopped moving? Your horse did?
Yeah, even after I pulled its reins, it just stood there like a rock.
Oh, that was my doing.
Ah, so that's what happened. The horse should have panicked and ran. What? The dagger had spoken nonchalantly, and I started to scowl. Why did you do something like that?
If you ran from this place, you wouldn't have been able to meet this man, right?
That's why you stopped the horse?
Yes, of course.
I suddenly took out the dagger and raised it above my head.
What are you doing?
Silence! I almost died because of you. You deserve to be hurled onto the ground and broken into pieces. Kotaro took the dagger from me and quickly gave it back to me.
All's well that ends well. We were able to meet after all.
Oh, that reminds me. Kotaro, I heard you were in charge of leading the demons to the castle. Have you finished that already? His face looked stiff.
Yeah, but if it goes on like this, they'll be short-handed at Rokaku Konoji Castle.
Then what are you going to do now? Are you going to return to the castle?
Yeah, well...
Kotaro glanced at the dagger I was holding and scratched his nose.
You don't need to worry about me. I have no intention of allying with them.
How can we possibly trust you? This dagger wants to return to the underworld. It said it wants to be free.
Oh? So, that's why it brought you all the way out here.
What do you mean?
We've been ordered by Lord Nobunaga to search for the place the demons spawned from. It's our plan B in case things go wrong at Rokaku Konoji Castle. We figured out a number of the demons' weaknesses, so we came up with another plan. That thing probably figured something out and brought you here.
Is that true? The dagger only laughed. It didn't answer me. I swear, I can never let my guard down.
And that's why I told you not to. So, you want to go back? But, do you know where the underworld connects to this world?
Indeed. Also, if you use me, you can stop up that hole.
How can we trust you? After that, the dagger guided us deep into the mountains. We lost our way and walked through a thicket for a while. Kotaro stopped in place and stared at the scenery in front of us with stern eyes.
It's here, huh?
Yes.
I tilted my head. Where is the hole connecting to the underworld? It's just a valley, isn't it?
Look closer, Princess. Have you ever seen a valley as dangerous as this one?
He smiled bitterly, and I realized. I could hear moaning voices. At the bottom, I could see faint red lights lit up. The thing that I thought was a valley was connected to the underworld. I can't believe it. I was overwhelmed with surprise, but the dagger looked happy. How can a dagger look happy?
Oh, that fragrant smell of the underworld. The smell of the dead burning. Come now, quickly, let's get closer.
Can we just throw it in? Kotaro signaled to his men with his eyes. The ninjas all rushed toward the valley.
Come, Princess. We're going as well.
Okay. I took Kotaro's hand and we climbed up the last slope. After that, we came to the edge of a cliff. It was obvious it was no ordinary valley. The underworld. It sent shivers down my spine. It was a horrific gaping hole. It was deep and vast. An entire town could fit between us and the adjacent cliffs. The stench of sulfur enveloped the surface. The nearby plants had withered, and the branches looked like bones hanging in the air. And, in the bottom of the hole, scenes from the underworld kept unfolding. All around, the dead were being horrifically tortured and were suffering. They were so far, I couldn't see them clearly, yet I still knew. The screams and moans from the dead were many and created a tremor. It roared even at that distance.
Can you see the puddle of blood in the depths of the right-hand side?
Yes.
In the center of it, there's a ribcage floating. It's glaring right at us.
The ribcage is glaring at us? How? It needs eyes for that.
That is Rokaku Takayori.
The moment I realized it was him, I could feel his eyes staring straight at me. I was looking at him, and he was looking at me. He looked like a grain of rice from where I was standing. If you're that far, how can you tell that he's glaring? And I thought the demon said it was like rib cage, not a whole person. And yet, I could tell his eyes were filled with malice. My body trembled. I was afraid of that man. Oh! My shoulders shook, and someone placed their hand on them. Kotaro.
It's okay. You haven't done anything to him. His grudge is misguided.
Kotaro gently smiled at me and started to speak to the dagger at my bosom.
So, you're saying if we tie you to an arrow and shoot at him, the hole will close up?
Indeed, I'll cut the connection between his soul and his lingering body.
Will that make the hole close?
Yes, that man's flawed beliefs open this hole.
Kotaro nodded and started to talk to me.
What are you going to do?
Well, how good of a shot am I? Really, wouldn't that dagger seriously mess up the balance of the arrow? How could I possibly shoot that? Aren't ninjas supposed to be better with a bow and arrow? What? Aren't we going to close it? Weren't you the one who said you could manage it by tying the dagger to an arrow?
Yeah, you're right.
He frowned. He is worried about leaving.
But you know, I have a feeling something bad might happen.
Yeah, we don't trust that dagger.
It feels like we overlooked something. If we don't do anything, the guys at Rokaku Kanoji Castle might settle everything. I don't know if it's a good idea to lose the dagger right now. What are you going to do?
I bit my lip. He was right. I was afraid to let go of the dagger. If the hole didn't close up and the demons didn't disappear, if the dagger's sorcery vanished and everything became undone, we would all perish. However, the fight at Rokaku Kanoji Castle is going on as we speak, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then it's better we close the hole as quickly as possible. We might be able to save someone. I made my decision and took out the dagger. Close the hole with this, Kotaro.
It would be my pleasure.
Kotaro smirked and took the dagger. The ninjas began to move at a fast pace. The ninja with the tightly drawn bow was in charge of shooting the arrow. They tied the dagger firmly to the tip of the arrow. I stood next to them and recollected on the things we'd been through. This is goodbye. I spoke earnestly to the dagger. You've helped me out a lot. Thanks. The dagger laughed and added on.
We'll see. It might be too early to show your gratitude.
Stop! Don't fire the arrow! Huh? What does that mean?
What's wrong?
Kotaro was confused. The dagger just said it might be too early to thank it.
No, I couldn't hear it. The dagger didn't say anything. Did you guys hear anything?
He asked the ninjas tying the dagger to the arrow. No.
See?
What's going on? Demons can't use telepathy. That's what Kotaro told me. He doesn't know everything? I heard it so clearly, but why was I the only one who'd heard it? The dagger continued laughing in a high-pitched voice, but Kotaro and the ninjas didn't react.
What is it, Princess? Are you worried about something? Should we stop?
Kotaro folded his arms and sternly looked at me. No, please continue. You're an idiot, Saya! Don't do it! It's obvious now! It's laughed maniacally far too long. You know it's tricking you, and you're still letting it do it. I couldn't understand our situation. All I could do was gamble. Kotaro nodded.
Go.
The ninja in charge of the bow went deep into the cliff and made preparations. The tightly drawn bow made a sound. All of us were too nervous to breathe.
Stay calm and take aim. We have only one chance. Yes, sir.
Kotaro observed the ninja's actions from behind him. When the archer's breathing and concentration was in order, Kotaro sharply declared,
Fire.
The bowstring reverberated. The arrow fired. It fired in a straight line and got sucked into the hole. And then, when we saw some sort of light in the distance, a beautiful light started to shine from the entire bottom of the valley. The light was blinding.
Oh. Wah!
A voice roared from the depths of the earth. A squall swelled up from below, and the earth trembled. Eee!
Saya!
Kotaro called my name and hugged me. It suddenly became quiet again. I timidly opened my eyes. The withered plants stretched out and grass remained, but the big hole was nowhere to be seen. Is it over?
Somehow.
Kotaro still looked nervous. He faced his subordinates and gave them orders.
Patrol the area and make sure the demons have disappeared.
However, their reactions were a little different.
Huh? Who?
Oh no, it's all over so they don't remember him now. Huh? Kotaro and I were taken aback. All of the ninjas looked at each other and were greatly perplexed.
What are we doing here? We were closing up the hole to the underworld. No, but whose orders were we under? Our leader's, of course. He's over there. You fool! What are you talking about? How is that man our leader?
It was such a sudden change.
What have we been doing up until now?
The ninja who fired the arrow glared at Kotaro.
Our leader lost his life on our way to the castle. Why are you posing as our leader?
A moment ago, these men followed Kotaro obediently. Why had they changed so suddenly? I couldn't stand it any longer and stepped in front of Kotaro. All of you, what are you saying? You were the ones who took orders from Kotaro until just a moment ago.
Princess.
Kotaro put his hand on my shoulder to stop me. No, this isn't right. I mean, the ninjas became noisy as they looked at my face.
Princess? No, I'm sure the princess was with us. Princess, That man is an insolent wretch, posing as our leader. Come here quickly.
The ninja tried to grab my arm. Kotaro quickly pulled me towards him, and an explosive situation erupted. One of the men shouted,
Wait, why do we know the princess?
"Oh yeah, I guess the ninjas never actually came into the castle, so they wouldn't have met me."
What are you saying? It's only obvious to know the person we're working for. That's what I was saying. How do we start working for that castle? Who do we negotiate with? Our leader is dead, so who did? That's... Princess, let's go while we can.
Kotaro whispered in my ear and carried me under his arm. He ran off quickly and violently. Carried me under his arm? Like baggage?
Wait!
I heard them try to stop us from behind, but Kotaro didn't stop. Kotaro,
The dagger's sorcery disappeared, and that's what's going on. The demons are probably gone. The hole to the underworld is closed. The dagger's powers are gone. Everyone has gotten their real memories back.
Then... The people, like Kotaro, who hadn't been here originally.
I still remember everything, but it looks like everyone else has forgotten about me.
Kotaro smiled bitterly. He stopped when we came to the hill, with the amazing view, and slowly put me down.
It looks like they don't plan on coming after us.
I looked through the grove behind us. It's true, it doesn't feel like they're here. I wonder why. He shrugged his shoulders.
They're confused as well. I'm sure they're thinking about what to do here on out. We have to think about the future too. Shall we go back to the castle for now?
Yeah, let's do that. I was worried about the people, vassals and Yukimura, who'd all been left there.
Then let's go together. But don't get your hopes up. If my thinking is correct, the castle is...
Kotaro stopped speaking. The castle is...
No, it's fine. For now, let's check it out.
I soon learned the reason he'd spoken so ambiguously. We walked for a while, and whether I wanted to or not, I realized something. That's strange. I can't see the castle tower. We should have been able to see the castle from here. Kotaro didn't speak. I quickly ran up to the castle and screamed as I spoke. The castle is burning! The pillars stood stained. Parts of the stone walls were lying around everywhere. The beautiful white castle was now nowhere to be seen. What's the meaning of this? Does this mean we didn't make it in time? I sat down on the bare earth. While Kotaro helped me up, he answered me sorrowfully.
No, that's probably not right. Princess, when I'd switched the daggers, I'd heard that the castle had been destroyed once.
Yes.
Then it's just like me. When the dagger's powers disappeared, it returned to its original state.
Then, are you going to disappear too? I gazed at him while I held my feelings in. The dagger had told me before, if you remembered the truth, you'd disappear. Kotaro smiled bitterly. But the dagger also said Kotaro couldn't go back because he was already attached to me. Did you forget that, Saya?
But I told you I wouldn't, right? That my feelings for you would prevent that. That's what the dagger had told me.
Kotaro embraced me.
Say, Princess, let's go. Come with me.
Kotaro?
It's fine, isn't it? The castle burned down, and you don't know what happened to the citizens. You don't have any relatives left either. Throw this place away.
Kotaro turned me around with force.
Saya, let's go. Let's search for pretty things together.
How could you possibly turn that down? The burned-down castle was behind me. My beloved Kotaro invited me with his sweet voice. I replied. Ending select. And actually this chapter was long enough, so we're gonna have to end this video here. And hopefully those two endings will fit in one video for the next one. Why in the world would I say I'm sorry? Why wouldn't I go with him at this point? It makes no sense. But we have the choice and we have to do the two endings because I have to give you everything. But, okay, so the next time we'll say I'm sorry first and then we'll go with him because going with him is probably the happy ending, right? But wait, if I say I'm sorry and I stay here, then he might stay here with me, right? Hopefully? Crossing my fingers. In any case, it's gotta be happier than Hanbei's ending, right? Alright, well, I hope to see you for those endings, or perhaps some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.